All righty. Hello there out there in Radio Land. It is live on the air with Brian Summers. It is 5 o'clock somewhere in the world. It's 5 o'clock right here in Statesville today. It is Tuesday. It is September the 5th, and this show has officially been on the air for 3 months. Folks, some folks thought we wouldn't make it one day. Some didn't think we'd make it 1 hour. Some didn't think we'd even be able to wake up. But that's a bell I like to signal for how the cannon I'd shoot it off. We've been here 3 months, and thankful to you. Want to first thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, really, for having this opportunity, this wonderful platform to be on the air, to share information, knowledge, bring our community closer together, bring our neighbors closer together, give some great information that'll be inspiring, informing, and uplifting. That is the goal of this show, was to give you a good, adequate and information and be balanced in our perspective always, but to make sure that you get everything you need for On the Record. That's the name of the show, folks. I'm Brian Summers. I am your handsome, bald, dark host. That's right, you got me. So if you cut on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and even LinkedIn, you will find us out there. And also, they say Apple Pay. I'm not quite sure what it is on Apple Play, but according to my daughter, we're on Apple Play, so you can go back and get me in the playback. It is a good show we got today. Going to take it to a different realm. You know, we were kind of off yesterday because of Labor Day, and so although I did not labor, I was on my comfy chair, sitting, watching Gunsmoke all day yesterday. That's what I was doing. I was fine. I was happy, and I was eating a foot-long hot dog. I won't say from where. I'll leave that alone. But anyway, that was my Labor Day to a degree. But I got to tell you, I was extremely happy to have that little bit of break and that time off, and that meant Sunday would have been time for services. And so I must admit, I got a good pastor here in front of me. I did not attend church on Sunday. So if you're driving home and maybe you didn't attend church on Sunday because it's a holiday, thank goodness the good Lord did not take a holiday away from us and say, I'm going to skip you guys. I'm not going to wake you up this morning because it's a holiday. I'm glad he didn't do that, but we did it to him on Sunday. So, but anyway, folks, glad if you're driving and you're out there and you're coming from, we do our roll call here every single day. And sometimes we change it up with who goes first, who goes last. But I got to tell you, I had the mayor of Love Valley on last Thursday. I had Tim Meadows was on here and his friend Dan, and we had a lot of fun. So I'll start off this morning. Good afternoon, Love Valley, North Carolina, Olin, Turnersburg, Harmony, Taylorsville, Hickory. Yes, we get up there as well too. South Wilkesboro, and yes, Statesville, Trotman, and Mooresville, Cornelius, Davison, Lake Norman, North Cabarrus, all of those places in between, Huntersville, all those in between. Thank you for tuning in. Salisbury, thank you for tuning in. So we make it happen right here on the record with Brian Summers. We like you. We love you all. We're glad we have reached to you folks. Just some housekeeping things we're going to do. So if you don't see him right now, but he'll be up in a moment, you'll get to see this. Yo, I've got more hair. No, he's got more hair than I do. You're going to see who has more hair, me or Chip McGee in a moment, folks. But just some housekeeping things I always like to do here and get out of the way, especially when I have guests here who are so very important, like Pastor Chip McGee is, and I'm on my best behavior because I got a minister in the house, and I got, I'm going to need forgiveness after the show, I'm sure. But I want to just say that next week on the 13th of September, the Iredell County Public Library, they'll be having a discussion. Dr. Elliot Engel is going to be the presenter, and he'll be talking about everything Edgar Allan Poe. And so this week, starting tomorrow and also Thursday and Friday, I will be giving away tickets to go hear Elliot Engel at the Iredell County Public Library, downtown Statesville. That's the 13th of September from 2 to 4. That is the Friends of the Library annual meeting. And for a disclaimer, I am on the Friends of the Library, folks, so I am all about books, and more books. You cannot get away from books. You want to punish a kid? Give him a book. I promise you, he'll change his world and he'll love you for it. It's not punishment at all. But anyway, the Iredell County Public Library, folks, check it out. Tune in. It is going to be the 13th of September, downtown Statesville, from 2 to 4. It is a cost to it. But if you listen here on WSIC, starting tomorrow, we're going to give away some tickets. So you got to answer some Poe trivia. Some Edgar Allan Poe trivia will be going on tomorrow and Thursday and Friday and everything leading up to it. So I'm extremely happy about it. Also, the fair is going on. If you've been down to Iredell County Fair there in Trotman, you know what's happening right now. It's the happening thing. I was there Friday for the ribbon cutting and all that good stuff, and with the who's of the who, that's where we were at the fair. It was very hot down there. And then Saturday and a little bit of Saturday evening, I was out there a lot, and I'll be back there this evening a little later and tomorrow. So you stop by any one of those gates up front, you can always find me, Brian Summers, smiling and gotta really clear up something. So last Friday we had Hope and Andrew win tickets. I forgot to tell Hope that the pass I have for her is good for all week long. So Hope, if you out there and you listen and you come back through the fair, or you reach out to me or find me on Facebook, and I have your ticket. My apologies. I did not realize I was supposed to let you keep it for the rest of the week. Andrew, your ticket will get you in for the rest of the week there. It is a whole season pass. And so those were two winners who won fair tickets last week. I'm giving away some fair tickets today as well, too, folks. So you got to tune in. The only way you're going to win is you got to tune in. You got to know what the show is all about, what we're doing, and what we're talking about. And so next week is going to be our adventure with Chick-fil-A, our partnership with them for On the Record here with Brian Summers. We're going to be doing that. So lots of things to give away. We've got lots of prizes. We got lots of friends. For 3 months, I've made a lot of friends in this community. Somebody likes me. I'm not quite sure. But I'm going to turn the show right now to my good friend. I say he's my good friend because I met him, it's been 2 years ago, and didn't know him before, was just, I was walking the streets of Statesville. He probably looked like I needed a friend, and he said, that guy looks like he needs a friend. And, but no, Chip McGee, I'll say this publicly, of all the ministers in Statesville, you're the only and the first minister to come door to door with me and walk door to door with me with my campaign for mayor. So, so let me talk a little bit.
Just a good reason to go on a walk with you, Brian.
Well, that's I'm glad, and you maybe more than once. I think you offered to come out, and the second time I think we just walked a certain area. But I was extremely happy to have a minister walk with me. That means that no harm was going to come to me because no one dared do anything to a minister. And so, but Chip McGee did. He came, and we walked, and he got to know me, and then some things he didn't know about me, he got to know, and he said, man, that's pretty interesting and pretty fascinating. You kind of have that kind of dual life, as I think you said. And then we were talking, did not realize, too, he is a hip-hop minister. He likes old-school hip-hop music.
I do. Can't lie.
When I get a minister that knows about Tupac and Biggie, I'm like, oh, boy.
I remember where I was when they both died.
Oh,
yeah.
my goodness. So, but anyway, we'll explore that. But we're going to talk to Pastor Chip McGee here on the other side of this break here on WSIC News Talk 1400, 100.7 FM and 105.9. So that's what we are. And folks, we're going to take your calls. So if you know Chip McGee, you know Christ Church, as he is talking and interviewing, you want to give him a call in, talk to him, 704-873-1400, 704-873-1400. Some people said to me, why do you say the phone number 2 times? Because you got to get it in there, and it just has a ring to it. It's just 704-873-1400. It's real good to say so. But anyway, you can call us up. You're live here in the studio on WSIC. We got 8 lines. We'll take your call. We want to hear from you. But you're going to get to hear from the man himself. The man himself. I don't want to say right reverend. I don't know. They say all the above, right? So I should have some Tupac. I would have some Biggie in here to scratch to you, boy. That would have been a change for WSIC for sure.
I'm only the right rev during funerals. So.
All right, folks. All right. But anyway, so we're going to have some fun. On the record, Brian Summers, Chip McGee, when we come right back.
There's more On the Record with Brian Summers on the way from the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC. More on the record with Brian Summers on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Oh yeah, folks, it is that time of the day when On the Record with Brian Summers comes on your radio. Mom, Dad out there, you're driving home. It's 5 o'clock. This is drive time radio, as I like to I've kind of coined that phrase, drive time radio. How about that? I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But if you're out there, please, folks, drive safely. Please, no texting as you're rolling along. You know, Friday we had a North Carolina State Trooper in here on studio. Trooper Sergeant Pennington was in here, and he told us about the most number one thing for accidents and things that the North Carolina State Highway Patrol has to investigate are folks who are not paying attention to the road as they are driving. And that was some statistics he shared with us, as well as the fact that the North Carolina State Highway Patrol is hiring. They got jobs, folks. All you people out there want a job. Here's a job with benefits you can get from the North Carolina State Highway Patrol, and you don't have to have a college degree. I wish I'd have known that, but no, a long time ago. But you don't have to have a college degree, folks. You just have to be 21 years old. It helps if you've had a little bit of community college, a little bit of basic law enforcement training. But you can apply between 21 and 39 is the cutoff age. So check out North Carolina State Highway Patrol, and I'm going to keep on talking about that until they get there. 200 positions they're down, Chip McGee, so we're past the age to try to get back in there, but we might need some more parishioners in your church who might need something. So, but I'm going to keep on plugging away at recruitment for the North Carolina Highway Patrol, because I think what they do is just that important. It's just that vital to our community. So we're going to move right on. But as I told y'all, the man is here himself. It is Pastor Chip McGee. I met him. He is a light. He has a congregation out there on 115 North and is on the right going up there. It's huge church, friendly church. I've been there on a Wednesday night. I've been there on a Sunday morning, and they let me come back again. Imagine that. So, yeah, people were very friendly and said hello, and I sat on a pew, but other people came and sat beside me and all that good stuff. And then when I went out to leave in the vestibule, people come up to me and said hello. And so they were very polite, very welcoming, and that's what you really want at church. But if you know Pastor Chip McGee, you know that's his church. It's God's church, but you know he is the vessel who helps to make it happen. So with all that said to do, here is Pastor Chip McGee. Talk to us, my good brother. Talk to us. It's all you. You're on.
All right.
Yeah. Look
it's
at
good
him.
to be on here.
Yeah,
Thanks for
absolutely.
having me.
Yeah, look, Mom, on TV. We're going to have a little bit of fun. So you're the pastor at Christ Church. And so just really tell us all about it. I mean, you got an audience here. We're in 5 counties. You can reach us. So you got an opportunity now to get some reach out there. I am the #1 radio show in all of my mind.
There you go.
Right.
For 3 months running.
Yeah, right. In my mind, I'm #1 right there. But this is our anniversary, 3rd month. The July 5th, we got started. So here we are.
That's awesome.
Good deal.
Yeah, I've been at Christ Church, Statesville for 10 months. I'm sorry, 10 years as of last month. Yes, it feels like it's been 10 months, right? It's flown by. But yeah, we moved here to Statesville, and my oldest was about to go into kindergarten, and she just celebrated her sweet 16. So we've been here in the community for a little while now, and Christ Church has been good to me, you know, and I believe Christ Church has been good for the community as well. But yeah, we have services at 9:50 and 11:15 on Sunday mornings. We have a children's hall where there's age-specific classrooms where kids can learn about God and learn about Jesus in a way that engages them. And we have student ministry on Sunday nights from 5 to 7. And also something that we just as dear to our hearts is Celebrate Recovery on Thursday nights. So we're a church that anybody who is hurting or struggling with anything can walk into and find a safe place to begin a path of healing. So on Thursday nights on Celebrate Recovery, we have 6:30 a free meal. 7 o'clock there's a chance to hear through the 12 steps of recovery and hear testimony, and then you break into share groups. Whether you have everyday struggles or if you have chemical addiction, it's a place for you to find somebody to say me too and walk with you as you walk that path of healing. So yeah, a lot going on. Definitely some events that go on. I think we hopefully are becoming known for our Christmas fest. The first week, the first Saturday of December we blow it out, train rides, snow and movies, and it's like a Christmas trunk or treat. So Christmas themed trunks, and kids just have a great time. Santa's there. That's how big of a deal it is. So Santa and the Grinch. The Grinch is also there. So,
and the Grinch.
Yeah. So
gotta have the Grinch, right?
Gotta have the Grinch.
Oh,
That's right. Gotta balance it out. But yeah, so Christmas Fest has always been a lot of fun, and Mega Sports Camp in the summer, where we have kind of a VBS, but it's sports style. So the kids get a little sweaty and smelly along the way as they learn about God. But yeah, I'm moved out here with really kind of like a 5-year commitment. I just I didn't want to be a fly-by-night person. I want to get rooted into the community, and well, I've doubled that now. I'm here 10 years, and the fact that I'm still here means that Statesville is a great place to be, and Christ Church is a great place to be.
I will say you have come in mission-driven to a degree. I would say so, especially I have witnessed Foundry House. I remember you and I met up there a year ago, and you gave me a little bit of a tour and told me what you were trying to do and where you were going. And forgive me, but we still have those comforters that we've had not for 2 years for your twin beds. That well, I will drop off this week. So
there we go. That sounds good.
But I mean, you came in, and where are you originally from?
Originally from Hickory, and
right.
moved to Raleigh. I'm an NC State grad, so threw up the Wolf hands there.
That's all right. We can't all be perfect.
Listen, I'm still I'm grieving over the fact that Duke and Carolina are ranked in football, and my Wolfpack is not. So I'm still dealing with that.
No problem.
Yeah, I need some help. But anyways, so lived in Raleigh for 7 years, and before moving back. And Christ Church is a multi-campus church, so we started attending. I was a high school math teacher at the time, and started attending because I knew of a friend who had experienced some life change there. So I wanted to see what was going on, and so we started attending and began getting involved, and then really felt that call to ministry and call to preach. So left the classroom. As tough as that was,
and still teaching though, right? I mean, so because and essentially, exactly. So I mean, you're still up there at the front of the class, instruction. So
so that's a part of what we do. Yeah, pastors wear a lot of hats, but teaching is a good part of what we do. I do miss coaching tennis. I'll say that. I used to coach high school tennis, and
is that right?
That was a joy.
Learning a lot about you. I mean, before we were in the break, I learned out some of those musical habits of yours. I don't know. I get a minister who's from Hickory who doesn't look like me in the Deep South and knows about Tupac and Biggie. I mean,
Brian, I gotta tell you, I've been to a Luther Vandross concert. So
that don't get you no points.
That doesn't give me no points?
That don't get you no points.
Okay.
Had you said the Temptations or the Four Tops, or you said, hey, bro, I went to go to see the Supremes, I mean, that would have been 40 years ago.
So that would have worked, yeah.
No. Or had you said Heavy D and the Boys, because we talked about that, so, but anyway, so I'm very interested in a lot of the different services. There are tons of churches. I think I counted up when we did a revival last year, down at the fairground, there are 567 churches in Iredell County.
Wow.
567. And I don't know in what aspect what they're all doing, and I know from 2 years ago to now, we had one homeless hotel, and now we've got 4 homeless hotels. I know we've got a growing homeless population. I know that addiction is a problem,
touches all of us.
Not past tense, present tense. I know that domestic violence is a problem. I know that child abuse is a problem. I know that sin, ultimately it comes down to it's all sin. And so the work to be done, there's plenty of work. I guess, what is that? You probably discern that there's, the harvest is plenty,
And the workers are few.
The workers are few. But you're working. This Foundry House you have for recovery, you're doing it. And how did you all, as a congregation, and if you have a board of deacons or trustees, how did you arrive to make that happen?
Yeah, it was really a process of observing so a lot of what you just observed. And I think starting Celebrate Recovery 8 years ago now, I think was a big that was a big thing because we weren't just talking about problems and issues out there. What we found is that there are plenty of people struggling within the church and outside the church, and that it's really needed because there are real people, real faces, real stories. And what we began to see is that environment is so huge for a person to have the opportunity to recover, particularly coming out of incarceration and kind of starting with nowhere to turn to, no one to turn to. And we began to see that being a real issue in Celebrate Recovery week to week as guys are trying to get well. And so we wanted to provide a place where guys leaving incarceration or detox and they've kind of cleared their minds and are in a place where they have some level of sobriety and they want to keep it, but they've got to transition and re-enter society to give them a Christ-centered, safe environment that has accountability. And so the Foundry House came about that way. We just saw the real people, the real needs. And we were trying something we never tried before, so we had to go to travel and learn from people who were doing it. And
Wow.
And we've bumped and scraped our knees along the way. And what we found is a community. Statesville cares. There's a lot of people who are doing a lot of things. There's a lot of fantastic churches. There's a lot of great organizations that are doing things and trying their best to work together. And we just kind of have a specific lane here and a house that can alleviate some of the issue and could really help a handful of lives. And we've begun to see it touch guys' lives. We just had our first graduate a couple weeks ago, which was a real joy.
Hold the thought. We're going into a break. Pastor Chip McGee.
59 100.7 WSIC.
All righty, good folks. I tell you, I like my bumper music. A little more Motown would be appreciative, but that'll work just fine all the same. Folks, I'm here. This is On the Record with Brian Summers. It's this beautiful Tuesday, kind of hot out there to be in Statesville, North Carolina. God's country, as I like to say, Iredell County. It is the finest country in the whole world. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else other than in North Carolina. Oops, I got a call here. Hold on. Let's see who I got calling in for us, Pastor Chip. Let's see. Here we go. Good afternoon. You're on the record with Brian Summers and Pastor Chip McGee. Hello. You're on the record with Brian Summers and Chip McGee. Hello. Hello, caller. Okay. All right. Have a good day. Maybe they'll call back. Maybe they'll call for Pat Shannon. You know, he is the popular person here. I sit in the Pat Shannon chair, as I like to say. So, I don't know. Caller, you want to call back? You can call back, 704-873-1400. Somebody out there called us, Chip. I don't know. You got a friend, I got a friend. Maybe we don't have any friends. No one's
just
calling.
wanted to hang up on us. Yeah.
Right. There you go. So, but yeah, we were talking about church and all the things that were going on and happening and what you guys are doing there at Christ Church. And just the fact that you're filling the gap. You all are filling the gap with a need. Now, I remember when I came out to see, I took a tour of your facility. I noticed with the amount of space you had, it was like, y'all should be in the child care business. Y'all should be in nursery. And I remember we talked about that.
Yeah,
we talked about that. And I'm saying, and I was like, you've got there's an unmet need in this community. And I think that even though logistically where you're located still is not that far outside the city, but I think the amount of space you have, you would definitely be feeling such a need, and a need from the standpoint of working moms, working dads, the working poor. It's. I remember I made that a point of my campaign was trying to identify and have a South Statesville Health and Wellness Center that which you could have a child care facility, you could have a health and wellness center, kind of like an urgent care almost, like a first step in, and then also a jobs resource center as well too. All that you could do there, and then maybe even my thing too was a mini DMV inspection, so you don't have to go all the way downtown. You don't have to go all the way over to Carolina Avenue for your driver's license. You can go in and make the application there in South Statesville, and then they can mail you what you need. You just have, so anyway, still things to come in our fair city. We've got a lot of work to do. We've got a lot of work to do to where people have to matter and matter more than anything else. It has to be, in which you're in that business of trying to save souls and reach souls. And so, that's a huge charge. So you're from Hickory. Siblings, brothers and sisters, how'd you grow up?
I'm an only child.
The only child?
The only child, that's it. I'm not too spoiled.
Oh, well, I kind of grew up somewhat like the only child. Nobody liked to play with me, so therefore I was kind of... No, just teasing, no. But, it's the only child. Okay, all right. So when you shared with your parents that you were going to walk out of the classroom for the church, and you wasn't getting married again. That how did they feel about that, and how did you approach that conversation? And then, were you already married when you went from from school to church?
Yeah,
so how did you approach that conversation? Because you're going from a job where you've got a salary and benefits to a church, and so it's kind of like that's a heck of a roll of the dice. Not to say pun intended, but
yeah. The tougher conversation with my parents was moving out of engineering into the classroom, and while I was in college, they're like, "Are you sure about that?" But yeah, as my wife, she saw that coming. She didn't marry a pastor, but I think she knew it was the potential was there, and quite honestly, she was in ministry, employed in ministry before I was,
really?
As a children's pastor, and now she's currently a worship leader, and so she kind of paved the way for that. But it is, it could be a heavy deal for to be a pastor's wife, depending on where you're at. but
Sure.
but I think she knew, because we were serving in a part of Christ Church overall, and we know the people well and know the culture well, and we knew the culture was healthy, and unrealistic expectations wasn't going to get heaped on her, and they have been very gracious to her in that way as well. But yeah, I mean, there's, I guess you could say, a roll of the dice, but but Christ Church treats us well, and yeah, pursuing money hadn't been something that's been high on our list for a long time. So.
Right. So now, did you grow up already within the Christ Church
No,
family? What was your faith background wise?
I grew up in a small Baptist church up in Caldwell County, and
okay.
yeah, and my grandfather is like my spiritual mentor. He was a deacon in the church, helped build the church spiritually and literally with his hands physically. Was a builder, and so yeah, I got drugged to church every Sunday. Against my will most of the time. And
See, you're saying that, and there's somebody out there in your congregation saying, "See, pastor understands. I want to stay home. I want to play my Xbox. I want to whatever."
I'm telling you, it's a fight. I know, but I mean, even with my own kids, we just kind of predetermine the fight. We're like, "You're going. How much you want to fight on the way is up to you, but the war has been won, and you're coming with us." And people have different approaches to that, but I'm sure glad that my mother drugged me to church.
Yeah.
Growing up, because God got a hold of my heart, and
Yeah.
I remember that day, and I remember being baptized, and I remember
Wow.
the word the Lord spoke over me. He just said real simply, "You are mine," as I came up out of the water, and I knew I was set apart. I didn't know what that meant exactly, but I knew I was.
I was baptized too, but I don't know if he said you're mine. I think he said we're gonna go for a second chance.
Here we go.
We go for a
Do it
second.
one more time.
Yeah, exactly. We go for a second dip here. I don't know, but I can say that for my Christian journey, my witness, that versus where I was at 25, God is a lot more realer now than if ever in my life, period. And I say that because I find myself in a much more analytical and thought and deep sense of who God is and how he's working his way through me. Does that make sense? And with me. And so I find myself not so much cautious, but just very much observant and a pause to things. Whereas it would have been the old Brian Summers hard charging. I mean, I'm all in for the fight. Let's go. Now it's kind of like survey the land, look it over.
Yeah, growing in wisdom.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Yeah. Now, and so growing in wisdom. Well, someone would question that wisdom, but yeah, growing in wisdom. And I know that about myself now. I sense that about myself now, and I know, and it feels good. It's kind of like I've grown, and I can tell that about me.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that, with the things, how I am, my mannerisms, how, I can most certainly feel and have as they say, he'll give you a different walk. He'll give you a different talk. He'll give new eyes in front of you, things to see in life that you maybe didn't see before. That's all true. That's also very true.
Yeah, it's true. Also off the cuff, when you're faced with a situation and you got to react, and, kind of the old man would have reacted in anger, but now you see that fruit of the Spirit, self-control and kindness and gentleness, come out as a default. That's when you know the Holy Spirit's working in you.
Yeah, I mean, because there was a time that I was all Peter, man. I was all Peter. It was like not thinking, I'm just reacting, and I can say that now comfortably, that I've been able to grow in that, and so in a reasonably responsible manner for sure. So, what are the services for Christ Church?
When are the services? Yep. 9:50 and 11:15 on Sundays.
So 2 services. Okay.
Yep.
Anything in the afternoon on Sundays?
We have student ministry
Okay.
at 5:00.
Okay.
And we've have a new student pastor. He's actually a mental health therapist during the day. But
Back on the break, on the record with Brian Summers here with
Have your say.
Trusting the government to fix anything is a joke.
Be a part of the conversation.
We can't even trust the banks with our money.
This is WSIC News Talk Now.
On the Record continues. Here's your host, Brian Summers, on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Alrighty, folks. It is Tuesday, all day long. This hours almost went fast. And I've got in studio live right here the man himself, but not the myth. He is larger than life. Found out he's got a little basketball game to him. Boy, hey, pick up basketball. He said I can come by Christ Church, pick up game tonight going on. So Chip McGee is in the house, folks. Chip McGee from Christ Church out on 115, doing a heck of a job within our community with Celebrate Recovery, and with Foundry House. And so really offering, not that, got to say this the right way, not that ministry has to be like a service, but just a full gamut of things that you need that people are going to go through in life that you need an outlet to get to, and that's what Christ Church is offering. I guess is that a good way to say it?
Yeah. We don't want to be tone deaf to the need.
Right.
Community.
Yeah. So again, you got a website?
ChristNC.com is the Christ Church website, and for the Foundry House, it's just foundryhouse.org.
Foundryhouse.org.
Yeah, you can refer somebody if you got a dad or a son or a brother who may be coming out of incarceration and needs a next step. But yeah, you can refer on there and find all the information you need.
Is there a donate button on there?
There's also a donate button on there.
For foundryhouse.org.
That's right, foundryhouse.org.
There's a donate button, folks. All right, Radio Land out there, my listeners, my friends. You can't always get by. Everyone has the internet on your phone. You can go to it, foundryhouse.org, and you can go there. And nobody's asking for a Cash App. Nobody's asking you for There's simply you go there and you can donate whatever your heart's is comfortable with. You're able to do. No amount is too little or too big. It's the fact that you cared enough to give makes all the difference. And so I'll keep pushing, and you send me some information on Foundry House. I'll keep talking it up here on the air because I think the better that we connect our community, the better we are as neighbors, the better we are as people in this city. We can be absolutely committed to going in the right direction and doing the right thing for the right reason. And so anytime you're winning hearts over for Christ, no question where you're going to have a place to always come and bring any of your information that you have, Pastor, going on out there in the church. Always welcome here. You've always got a home here. You're always welcome here. And so we're very elated to have you here on your first show. He said this was fun. I said, we'll come back. So once a month, we're going to have the Chip McGee check-in here. And so I don't know if he's going to show up with a basketball or a microphone. So you listeners out there who go to Christ Church, y'all got to convince Pastor to give y'all a little bit of rhyme. He needs to get up and bust a rhyme. I ain't going to say bust a move, but he can bust a rhyme for you all to tell him to give you something. So little known secret about the pastor. Okay, so we got about 9 minutes left in this show. And so I have got a trivia question I got to put out there and see if we can get some takers on it. So who knows the date that this show on the record aired here on WSIC? As I kind of gave it away at the top of the hour, if you were listening, this is an important day here, but all I will tell you is that we have been on, and if you know the answer, call up 704-873-1400, 704-873-1400, and I've got a fair ticket for you. You can stop by here tomorrow or hook up with me tomorrow, and I will get you your ticket to the fair, but I've got fair tickets to give away if you know the answer. How long has On the Record been on the air here on WSIC? And if you know the answer, call up 704-873-1400. We'll make it real easy, real simple. If you're listening to the show, you would know that. 704-873-1400. Call up if you know how long our record has been on. My show's been here on WSIC. You will get a ticket to the fair. I've got tickets to give away to the fair, folks. Iredell County Fair down at Troutman at the Iredell County Fairground. It's the 87th year of the Iredell County Fair. 87 years. It's been around a long time. So that is hosted by the Statesville Kiwanis Club, of which I'm a member. And so they do a heck of a job. All the money raised at the fair goes right back into the community, folks. 100%. They keep nothing at all. We do between scholarships, organizations. We give it all back out to the community. And Chuck Gallion and Jim Head and Joe Stevens and Rick Tron and those guys who welcomed me into the Kiwanis Club a year ago. And so I've been able to see and witness and grow and understand the mission of the Kiwanis Club. Pastor, maybe I can get you to kind of, consider come and join us. We have a serious recruitment going on right now for Kiwanis, and so we meet twice a month with the whole idea. We say prayers and of mission and giving back, and that's what we do. But the fair is our one big signature piece that we do every year. The Kiwanis Club of Statesville does the fair, and we have done it for the last 87 years. The Kiwanis in Statesville has been here for 103 years.
Wow.
Yeah, 103 years. So we're working on recruitment. Anybody interested? Shoot me an email here at the radio station, Brian at WSICnews.com. Brian at WSICnews.com. You can shoot me an email here. We're going to move right along. So, Pastor, any parting words you might want to have or share?
Really? It's just get to a church, because I've met a lot of incredible churches around here, and I know after COVID it's easy to kind of settle in and become your own individual and in your own bubble, but it seems risky, but it's worth it to get into community, and there's a lot of great churches around here. There
is. There are, and that's so very true. And so, yeah, please do make your way to a church. Go and sit down. I found nobody ever qualifies you or anything. I've not found that in this community at all. Like I said, my count last year was 567 churches in Iredell County, Statesville, folks. Go out there, get that knowledge, gain that, help make our world a better place. Do it for your soul. At the end of the day, for nobody else and for nothing else other than the fact that you want to go be to a better place, and you want to have that soul salvation answer. You know where you're going when this is all said and done, and that you're leaving behind you a life worthy to be spoken of in those terms and way. And so doesn't mean it's not going to be challenges, doesn't mean it's not going to be difficult, doesn't mean it's not going to be tough. But as it's written, take up your cross daily, which is a daily call to struggle. It is a daily call that, it's going to be heavy some days. It's going to be light some days. And some days you don't even feel like you're carrying the cross at all, because God, the Lord Savior, is carrying it for you. But it's to take that cross up. And so I encourage you to do that. Find that church. If you can't, you can go to ChristNC.com. ChristNC.com. You can also look at Christ Church in Statesville on 115. What's the address?
2172 Wilkesboro Highway.
All right. We got a caller here real quick. Hello, caller. You're on the record with Brian Summers and Chip McGee.
Did somebody win the ticket already?
No, sir.
3 months.
3 months. Okay. All right. Who am I speaking with?
This Pastor Carl.
Carl Mitchell. Now, you have to be in North Carolina to go to the fair, man. Come on, brother. How you doing, This Pastor, you know Carl Mitchell by chance?
I don't believe so.
Okay. He's got a what?
I've got a minister there that they can pick him up for him and his wife if he wants. But I got a quick story. I had an accident right in front of Christ Church on 115. I lived in Union Grove for many years. Still got property out there. But many years ago, in my Ford conversion van, back-ended somebody that you probably, I'm not going to mention his name.
Oh, boy.
Right there in front of that church.
Okay. All right. So that's your story connected to Christ Church. That's the call.
Did you send somebody to meet Jesus?
Huh?
I said, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
That's your story, you're sticking to it. Well, good deal, brother. I did see your note that you wanted me to give you a call. We're going to touch base. I'm going to give you a call later into the week. But give me a number, and I will, okay?
Amen.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Carl Mitchell, you're the winner of. We've been on the air here for 3 months. Today is our 3rd anniversary. September 5th, we came on July 5th on the record with Brian Summers and Pastor. It's been great. And so thanks a lot, Pastor Carl. All right. So, but yeah, so God's blessing. We tried to say, ask God to really help us here and go take WSIC in a new direction with this show. I wanted to try to lend my assistance, my voice to it to help make it a success for our community. So that's where my heart is at, reaching and building bridges. I'm still on that mission, Pastor.
There you go. Keep dreaming. I love that you're a dreamer.
I just don't say, here comes the dreamer. Let's slay him and see what becomes of his dream. Don't do that. No. And we're not at that part. All right. But anyway, on the record with Brian Summers, Pastor Chip McGee right here, folks. And so tune in tomorrow. I'm going to have Victoria Miglin. She's going to be my guest on, and we're going to talk all things Pregnancy Resource Center. Got to talk that up tomorrow. They have an event coming up for their pro-life project that they have, and so she's always a delight to have here. But Victoria Miglin's going to be here from the Statesville Pregnancy Resource Center tomorrow. So, Pastor Chip, you want to get out the website again? You want to get out the physical address, and how can people reach you? You take calls from...
you can reach out through the website, christnc.com. You can find me on Facebook. Everybody can find me there. And 2172 Wilkesboro Highway. Make sure to come out. You can come as you are. You don't have to get dressed up. If you can't get arrested wearing it, then you can wear it to our church. You'll be fine. But you'll find a lot of friendly people like Brian found, and
right.
It's a place that genuinely wants to care for you and meet you right where you are and introduce you to a God that loves you and won't give up on you. Absolutely.
God bless you, brother. We thank you. Keep your hands off kids, folks. No hitting. Stop child abuse and neglect. This is Brian Summers on the record. You know my call-off symbol every single day. I am against child abuse and neglect every single day. I do not believe in hitting. I believe in reading and giving books, and I don't believe in domestic violence. So I'm going to keep pushing it. There's a blood drive tomorrow at the Statesville YMCA put on by Fourth Creek Rotary. I got to put that out there as well, too. All right, we'll have a good one. It's been a good show, Pastor.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Come hang out
it's
again.
Good being a part of
we
it.
got some Tupac next time you show.
With some intro music, some
intro music, right? I had to talk to Justin. Yeah, he used to be a DJ that they do on our WSIC. So we got to all get together and figure this thing out because we can figure out what skills he got. God bless you, brother. On the record, Brian Summers.
Statesville, Mooresville, North Charlotte.